Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Yesterday was certainly the more exciting day with Bitcoin going up dramatically, but we got a little bit more excitement today. Bitcoin now, as I record this, above $67,000. XRP damn near hit 53 cents. And although I will say there's not a general consensus about what's most likely to happen in the short term, if you look on a higher time frame, absolutely every analyst that I follow, I can't even think of an exception off the top of my head, does believe that Bitcoin's going to blast far past the most current all-time high. We're going to have an alt season, and things get absolutely crazy at that point. And that's where things are going to be real fun for us XRP holders. And I have perspective from people talking about Bitcoin, and I also have a perspective from three different chart guys specifically talking about their expectations from XRP, including one who says, and I quote, "We're going much higher this summer," end quote. Way, way, way higher. And I'll just say, if he is correct, this is going to result in a lot of life-changing wealth for a lot of people out there listening right this second. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 10:56 p.m. Central Time, Friday, May 17th, 2024. XRP is 52.4 cents. Bitcoin just a hair over $67,000. Crypto Fear and Greed Index 73 out of 100, so safely inside of greed. But what is going to happen in the short term? Well, one of my favorite analysts out there, it's no secret, it's chart analyst Credible Crypto, and he doesn't think this is the final breakout. He thinks what's most likely is that we are going to see a dip to the downside. Womp womp. but again, it doesn't change anything on a higher time frame, so in the end, even if so, doesn't matter. So here's what Credible Crypto had to say, and this is the Bitcoin USD chart. And here we are. Bitcoin has officially tapped our major resistance zone, the level at which I said I would be looking for shorts, which is exactly what I've been doing recently. And so you can see that would be, for those who look at the screen anyway, it'd be this red section here, main resistance, look for shorts. So anywhere approaching, $67,000 up to $71,000, that's the zone he's highlighting there. He's saying, yeah, that's probably not going to stick. And so he's going to be looking to, since he is a trader, he's going to short Bitcoin. Now, mind you, of course, he does have his long-term positions, but on top of that, he trades. Which, good for him. He seems to be doing a great job at it. I think it's a terrible idea for most people. I have no interest in trying my hand at that. But anyway, moving forward. Bitcoin lining up with my short zone while alts are hitting theirs is exactly the confluence I wanted to see to have strong confidence in my alt shorts. The only question now is, can those alts pump high enough to get my shorts filled before the drop begins? At this point, and this is the most crucial takeaway in my opinion, it says at this point, I think we will, at minimum, tag the $59,000 to $60,000 region. The blue zone at $62,000 to $63,000 is still an area of interest that may offer some temporary relief, but ultimately I think it will give way. A move down to $59,000 to $60,000 on Bitcoin is a 10% drop. On many alts, their respective drops will be much more. So just a heads up in case that does happen. We don't know for sure. He just thinks that's what's most probable at this point. Doesn't change a damn thing. For the typical person out there who isn't a trader, this requires no action. And for me, definitely not. I'm the most stubborn when it comes to holding crypto. I buy and I literally do nothing. I don't care. I don't get emotional about it. It doesn't matter what's happening in the short term or even the midterm or even long term if I'm not enticed to sell. I just hold. That's that. Here's a post from chart analyst Matthew Hyland talking about Bitcoin, and he says, if the weekly closes at the current price levels, buckle up. And he posted that at 4:50 p.m., and at the time, Bitcoin was 66,855, so about the same as where it is now, just a hair lower. So he's saying if we actually close this week at that, move to the upside. And he's not the only one that thinks that, by the way. In fact, here's a post from chart analyst Tony Severino, the Bitcoin USD chart here, and he said, inverse head and shoulders patterns target is new Bitcoin all-time highs. And I've seen multiple analysts note that Bitcoin is in this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And in fact, Matthew Hyland is one of the analysts that's been saying, hey, it looks like this is what's playing out. And to this point, it looks like it has. Multiple analysts have been talking about this. Some analysts have even highlighted, hey, there's this pattern for the entire crypto asset class if we just look at it as a whole. And so what's he thinking will happen if this plays out here? Well, it looks like a jump up to $75,535. So, are we going to be seeing a move back to 59 to 60,000? I don't pretend to know. That's why I'm just highlighting. There's not strong consensus on at least the reputable analysts that I follow in terms of what's going to happen. There seems to be a little bit of disagreement with, again, no change on the higher time frame. Here's a post. I love this post. This is worth looking at your screen if you're not driving or something like this. This is from Chart Analyst Tech Dev. Hashtag Bitcoin. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So if you look, and he's got two charts. They're both Bitcoin USD charts, but the one on the bottom goes back to 2013. And you can see things that have happened and similarities playing out. So this goes 2013 until beginning part of 2018. The one on the top goes from roughly 3/4 of the way through 2021 to the day. And he's just noting, you can see where he matched up these colors. He's saying, guys, basically the same damn thing's happening. And you know what happened in 2017? Face melting. Absolute face melting. So, and it was also kind of funny to highlight this too. So we know the bottom of the market for this cycle was with the FTX collapse in November 2022. He highlighted, funny enough, the Bitfinex crash in 2015. That was the bottom for that cycle. So that's why he said, if the more things change, the more they stay the same. I know what he means by that. Here's a post from Mikey Bull Crypto. This is a crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. He said, Altcoin's market cap is currently at last phase of preparation for explosive rally. With kind of bearish sentiment I'm seeing on my timeline, not many are prepared for what's coming. Yeah, and so I've noticed that too. There's more bearish sentiment than there had been if you go back, say, a couple months or so. And he's been providing updated versions of this chart, which I've been highlighting a fair bit here. He's simply noting that where we are right here looks a lot like where we were at the end of, basically the end of 2020 before things got really bonkers. Altcoins, my God, folks, I've never been this excited being in crypto. I've been in it over 6 years now, never cashed out to USD. This is the most excited I've ever been, and it's the most excited I've ever been for XRP specifically, which is my largest individual holding. So let's talk about XRP for the rest of the video. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Dark Defender. I have read some posts that XRP had a bull flag in the daily time frame, etc. If those are correction bull flags, this is a bull flag too, but a bullish one. It is in the monthly, 3-month, and 6-month time frames. If you know a bull flag, you can enjoy your coffee today. Cheers. Yeah, and so I'm not a chart guy. I don't want to be one. I don't want to pretend to be one. So I Googled bull flag real quick, and a certain amount of this stuff, it just sticks with me because I've been here long enough that I see terms and then I'm like, okay, I don't care about this chart stuff, but I will look it up. So I Googled this one because I couldn't remember exactly the definition of this. And a bull flag is a bullish chart pattern formed by two rallies separated by a brief consolidating retracement period. The flagpole forms on an almost vertical price spike as sellers get blindsided from the buyers, then a pullback that has a parallel upper and lower trend lines which form the flag. So if this is indeed the case, and apparently a number of analysts think this may be the case with XRP, in this case, bullish. And he also shared this post this morning. He said, again, the 6-month time frame of XRP is here. I have shared all my knowledge here without any expectation from you. This is one of the final masterpieces here for you to see. So he's got this purple arrow shooting up, with expectations of where we may go. And he frequently talks about these levels of upwards of $18.50, which frankly sounds reasonable. I don't know if we're going to hit that. And, with each dollar higher prediction any analysts make, the less confident I am, of course, because that's only logical. It's not crazy. It's not crazy to think that. A lot of analysts think it's going to be more like, $10 to $13, maybe $15. But this is not crazy, especially if we have way more money flow into Bitcoin than perhaps is expected by some. If that happens, the amount of money flowing throughout the rest of the asset class, including XRP, can result in some wacky stuff. So we'll see what happens, but this is absolutely plausible. This stuff happens in crypto all the damn time. And by the way, I know people get a little PTSD here. This type of stuff has happened with XRP. Remember that one time when it increased from the bottom to the top of the cycle by literally 80,000%, which sounds made up, but it really did happen. That's real life. Remember that? Because that happened. Weird stuff like that, crazy, life-changing stuff like that has happened to XRP in the past. I believe will happen again in the future. Here's a post from Charting Guy. This is from May 9th. And the reason I'm sharing this one since it's a little older is because he provided updated thoughts on this. So I wanted to set the table here. But here, May 9th, Charting Guy wrote, XRP, ascending triangle targets 77 cents. Over 75 cents is a break of macro downtrend structure. This likely leads to the breakout I've been projecting. Imagine that. And then, this evening, he provided an update on that, and he said, XRP ascending triangle update. Not using the low wick doesn't line up well. Triangle still intact, but this slightly shifts the target of this pattern to 70 cents. So he revised his expectation downward for the short term, but it doesn't matter because check this out. This is a very short-term target. We're going much higher this summer. Short term, we need to flip back above this ribbon. Yeah, and so if that's when alt season actually happens, we're going to see some serious fireworks. I don't pretend to know when it's going to happen, but my bet has been the same ever since, the conclusion of my first bull run ever, 2017 going into 2018, which is that at some unknown point in the future, XRP will either go to zero or hit a new all-time high. And my bet, it's that the all-time high one, that's the one that's going to happen. One of those things will happen. It can't stay moving sideways in this range that it's been moving in for 6 years now, forever. It just can't. It won't. Something's going to happen. And with all this increased adoption of XRP, pick a metric, almost everything looks fantastic, despite what the toxic Bitcoin maxis would say, because when XRP loses value against Bitcoin, that's historically normal, and that precedes major moves to the upside. And on top of that anyway, XRP has been moving up against the United States dollars for almost 2 whole years at this point. So it's not like it's not directionally doing the right thing, and it's in the top 10 coins by market cap and has been for its entire life, over a decade now. I'm ready for some fireworks here. Here's a post from chart analyst Jesse Olson, who I'm not familiar with. But the reason it caught my attention is because, to be real, anytime an analyst, even if I'm not familiar with the analyst, is talking about XRP and it shows up in my timeline, I'm interested. Let's see what you have to say. He seems to have quite a respectable following, 66,900 followers, and this was reposted by Charting Guy, which is the reason I was like, well, okay, I'll get a word. I don't know anything about this guy's background, but he seems to think that it's a good position for XRP to be in, where it is right now. Perhaps at least for those who want to accumulate before this thing really does get going. And he simply wrote, and this is this evening, he said, breaking, XRP has a pending buy signal on the daily chart. Well, I'll just say this. It ain't gonna stay this cheap forever. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.